week on the Jackals and Haggles podcast is a special. We've got two exclusive interviews from La Rochelle players ahead of the Champions Cup this weekend. Two Australian internationals, potentially even former Australian internationals, but you never know. There's always hopes they can make their way back into the squad before the World Cup next year. Look, we hope you enjoy this special episode. Let us know your thoughts. And look, we delve into all topics in terms of what's life like under O'Gara, what is life like playing in France, and we even touch on the 2015 World Cup, which Douglas was a part of as Australia reached the final. Let us know your thoughts and enjoy.
Hello, Kane. How's you?
Hey, good day.
I'm grand. I'm grand.
Oh,
Just getting your hair fixed now.
no, I just took my hat off.
No worries at all. No worries. I was going to ask you about your hair. Was that inspired by Jack Noel by any chance, or what's the story behind it?
No. I probably had it for 2 years before I came to La Rochelle, so or maybe at least a year and a half. And it just so happens now that like when my dark hairs grow through and I need to redo it, he's probably at the same stage, so we look like we do it at the same time all the time now. But no, that's about it. Me and Jack have three kids each, and we both have blonde hair, but that's about it.
I was going to say, I was seeing on your Instagram, are you too close enough in terms of you seem to love the wee budgie smugglers, or what's the story?
I think if Jack would be the closest thing of an English person to an Australian person, you know what I mean? He loves the beach and he loves the Australian lifestyle and stuff. So I think his little brother's been living there the last few years too. So yeah, I appreciate it. Budgie smuggler, he's probably got a better rig than me, but yeah, no, we get on. He's a good guy and he's got a nice family.
So how are you feeling for the kind of Champions Cup, the start of that again?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's like wherever you find yourself in the top 14, sort of you put it to the side to an extent, and you got to use the good things you take from it, whatever else, like all the teams. But yeah, like it's a new thing. Like everyone starts on zero again every year, so it's yeah, it's a good opportunity to play those games, and it's nice to play against sort of a fresh team from that we haven't played against this year, or it's a different style, and you get to maybe go to England or Ireland or South Africa like we're doing in a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's good to change things up.
So you get to return to Ireland to play against, sorry, a team you once played for. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I hope I'm sort of in the mix when we do go to Dublin. I obviously played against them last year, and we were close enough. It wasn't a bad game, but we just couldn't get in the end, and they played well and beat us. But yeah, it'll be cool. I've been meaning to get back. I think I've been back, once for a test since I left there, 2016 or 17, and other than that, I haven't really spent much time. Like I'm not far away being in France, but yeah, you just find like you go see somewhere new. But yeah, I did like my time in Dublin, and I love the city, so it would be cool to be in the mix for that game.
Yeah, and obviously, well, as you say, your family kind of started from there. I know you got proposed in Dublin and all that kind of thing. And it was a kind of probably different experience because that was around 2015 when you were playing for Australia with the World Cup kind of coming up as well at the time.
Yeah.
Like how was that World Cup? I actually that was the first time I moved to England
Yeah.
when that
Okay.
World Cup was on, so it was a big thing for me. How was that experience as an Australian? Obviously, you reached the final, which is always nice. Knocked the English out as well at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, like I probably nearly put it to like one of the best sort of experiences of my life. Like I was in the 2014 Waratahs team when we won Super Rugby, but like that sort of I don't know, it just happened all pretty quick. Like yeah, we were on a roll and we won a heap of the games like leading into the finals. Then we won all the games and we won. But it just felt I don't know, sort of had it's a different feeling that World Cup year. Like I'd obviously come back from Ireland, and I was a bit heavy because I had surgery in like the March of or the April or whatever of 2015. Just sort of worked my butt off to get in the team. I played one test before they selected the test team. So, and then all of that was really good. Like we went to the States for 2 weeks, and then we went over to London, and obviously we won we won all of our games up until the final. So it was just like you're staying in cool hotels. There's people from all over the world sort of in and around London. You're seeing a heap of Aussies, and we beat England and we beat Wales and stuff. So it was like there was a good vibe. Like no English person could give a shit. You know what I mean? Like it was really good. And obviously we didn't get the result in the end. We lost the final, but it was like in terms of like a block being with a group. It was pretty surreal. Like we weren't, you didn't need to have a drink after each game. Like you had the mission of like winning the thing. So you didn't want to like go out and blow out on a weekend. You didn't have a whole, but it was just like good bunch of guys, quality time, like just hanging around the hotel and doing recovery and getting ready for the next one. And so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I was going to say, what was it about that squad? Because obviously it's a very kind of modern high for Australia. What held you together? I know Michael Cheika is a very good coach as well. Would he have been a lot behind it, or what was it? Just the squad as the players as a whole? Just you're all in sync.
I do still think of Michael Cheika as one of the favourite coaches I had. I know some guys didn't like, you either loved him or not hated him, but you know what I mean. Some guys just didn't get on with him, but like, I really liked him. He was real honest with me and told me what he wanted and what he didn't, and yeah, I don't know. It was probably a mixture of that. He had the right people in the right positions in the other coaching staff. We had a good mix of youth and seniority in the team. Like you had your Giddos and your Drew Mitchell's coming back, and you had your leaders in Pocock and Hooper and stuff as well in the middle, and Steve Moore, and like it was just, I don't know, just we had fun, and it's hard to explain. You can't sort of go, it was just this or it's just that. It's like, well, that World Cup and that was pretty cool.
Just a perfect blend all at once happening over a week period of time.
We nearly got it done.
Yeah. Well, obviously you're a big fan of Cheika. Like, what's your opinion? Probably having played against Rog, now you're working under Rog. How's that?
In terms of the difference between the two, or what's the question?
Difference between the two, and then what's it like just experiencing Rog on the day to day?
Oh, like Roger's really good. Like he's really competitive, and the similarities of him and Cheika too are like, he'd do anything for the team. He just wants the best from us. So like that might get portrayed differently, or that they might, but like they're both quite can get rolled up too, which is like it's not a bad thing for your players to see too. Like it shows you care. Like whether it's us or whether it's at a refereeing or something, like he's standing up for us. Like he cares and wants us to win. So like those, like the similarity of that is pretty good, and like I just think Roger's probably a bit more compared to Cheika. Like Cheika, Roger's probably Roger's played number 10, and Roger has got more sort of game now. It's not that Czech doesn't. So I'm not saying that about Czech, but just Czech knew he had the right people in place to do different things, and he knew what his limits were, and he had other people in place. Where Roger's been there and done that too in terms of playing. So and like obviously the game adapts and evolves, and it's been however long since he played. But yeah, like I do like both sort of ways of that hitting, and whether that sometimes always comes across well to outsiders looking in. Either I'm not sure, but from inside, like from inside the camp and being here, like it's. I see it as a positive, the way he acts and treats us and wants us to do well. Like it must be hard, we've had patches last year where we lost so many games in a row, and like he stayed positive. Like, he said the harsh words when he needed to, but like he was positive every week. Every Monday he'd come in and goes like, "We're gonna fucking do it this week. Sorry for swearing. We're gonna win. We've got the team to do it. I know we can." And we didn't get it done, but like it's like you can't have it the other way too. You can't just be being negative and kicking stones and saying we're going to lose. Like you got to be positive. So it's it was hard for everyone last year, and things haven't been perfect this year either. But I think Roger's a really good guy and a really good coach. So, yeah.
And like obviously, I don't want to tempt fate. But the World Cup's 2 years away. I don't know how much longer you have of hoping to get back in an Australia team, play on. How long the careers, or
Uh,
do you have a post-career plan? Like what's next for you?
like you can never say never, and never. I probably can't give you an exact answer now either, but like, in terms of that, I'm just talking about my career, but and when that's going to end.
Yeah.
But no, I can't. I definitely can't see myself being in the Australian team. They got some young guys that are playing really good, and um, yeah, like those guys. Even like that Hooper is at Exeter now, and like he can play back row and second row, and he's big and like heavy and tall, and can get around. And then you Nick Frost and Will's still carving up when he goes back. Like it's no, I'm not looking at myself as if I'm in the picture at all. But I'm hopefully be sitting in the stands having a beer. I think, and give me 2 years, end of 2027. Yeah, I'll be there having a beer. I'll be in the
So,
stadium.
how do you think that experience would be in terms of for the sport in Australia? Like, how do you think the World Cup will have an impact there?
No, I think it'll be massive. I just hope that between now and then, I think the British and Irish Lions this year was really good and was really good for a bit of money in Australian rugby. And now we'll see what they do with that. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. There's no answer of how to make rugby better in Australia. But I just think it can only be a positive thing having the World Cup there. Like it's just going to put people there, bums on seats, tourism. And I don't know. I don't know if it's people always compare rugby league and rugby union together, and they're different. Like, yes, some players can go and play both or whatever, but like they're different. And I think it's a little bit of like Australian culture. There's something in the Australian culture sometimes that when they compare them the whole time, and if they see a few scrums, they get bored or something. I'm like, it's a different game. That's what happens. Like,
Yeah.
if we win 9-6 with 3 penalties to 2, like it doesn't mean it's a shit game. Like it's still there's different ways to win. You don't have to win the same every time. You don't have to score 6 tries. But I feel like that's what they want to, like sometimes the Australian public want to see that. And yeah, like it's good for in every country they probably want to see that. They want to see like fast flowing and you score tries. But like it's hard to when you say you want that, but then that support goes away a little bit, and then whether there's enough money or enough pool for players to stay in Australia. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there's no Super Rugby when I first started was pretty cool when you play against the South African teams and stuff. But they don't look like they'll ever come back now that they're in that the URC, and that looks pretty good for them. And so I don't know. It's hard to. There's no perfect answer for how rugby is going to evolve in Australia or become. But like I do think in terms of grassroots rugby and stuff in Australia, people still love it and want to go see club rugby. And then the World Cup is only going to be good. Like it's as I said, like it's going to be what it normally happens in September. You know what I mean? So it's September, October. It's going to be nice weather. I can't wait to go watch a few games. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, like obviously you're with the Aussie captain, Will Skelton's there now, obviously at La Rochelle. Like I've obviously heard a lot about him in terms of the personality he brings and what he brings to the club as a whole. Like
Yeah.
from you, what do you see the impact of him, not just on the pitch but off it as well?
Yeah, no, and it was also good for me to see that, like, because when I played with him at the Waratahs, he was quite young, so like he has definitely come out of his shell, and you just see how much he cares. Like as soon as he gets in, he's how are you, how you going, how'd you pull it off for the weekend? I really liked when you did this on the field, and like he talks like that with everyone. And it's not it's not fake. Like it's like he cares, and then just the feeling he gives everyone when he's there. Like, what I mean? There's someone carting the ball up. There's someone's going to hit someone hard and be a physical presence for your team. and he's quite switched on. I tell him that he should end up getting into coaching or something. Like he does get it and understands the game well, and I think that's why he probably gets on with Roger and that as well a lot too. Like people like there's some good like in-depth conversation being had between him and the other players and coaches that he is pretty invaluable. Like invaluable, is that the word? Like
Yeah.
Like you can't put a value on that, like how good that is for your team, and even like he goes away and we want him to do the best for Australia, but and he's not here obviously playing with us, but like but he is such a big presence and like it's awesome to be back playing with him. Yeah.
And then just to kind of wrap up and let you enjoy your day, get back to the family and sort all that. Like with the Champions Cup, you've talked about like all the differences, and look, I would argue maybe you've probably got the toughest pool in terms of the opponents you're facing. They're all pretty strong. Like, how do you feel that you're going to do, and how do you feel the approach will be for each kind of team that way?
What do you want to know? Like individual approach or something for each different team? I don't like.
Obviously, I don't want you to deep dive into O'Gara's secrets if you get me, but like how's the mentality going to go for each?
No, I know that. Like, I know how Rog is like, and he's when you know, I mean, from that perspective, like he's so competitive, and he puts Champions Cup up there. Like, obviously, you still want to get the result in top 14, and that's eluded us, Stade Rochelle. So that's still in the sights. But like, I mean, he's played in Champions Cup. He's won Champions Cups as a player, as a coach. Like he knows what it takes, and like he's got those Donikers there next to him, and there's other coaches like, and boys in the team know everyone's excited about Champions Cup. So like like Leicester this weekend into Stormers in Port Elizabeth, like they're going well too this year too. So like like each game will be totally different, and they'll be like. I think you put Leinster down to sort of good across the board. There's not many faults there. Not that I'm like considering rattle off faults in Leicester and the Stormers, I mean, but like they'll each have their own sort of thing we'll have to work on. But like we're optimistic about it, and the boys want to, like, they've had that success, they want it again. And I like that. Like it's the same for every club, I suppose. They're in the same boat, but like it's that fresh. Everything's fresh this week. We're playing against Leicester. It's a different competition. Yes, I agree. We do have a tough pool, but like, I think the boys will be up for it.
Is that previous success with the squad the driving factor of them? Because they obviously won 2 in a row, got to 3 finals. Is that what drives them in terms of having looked across France and seen Bordeaux's success last year and Toulouse's success? Is that what drives them this year? Well, it's going to be ours again because that's what they want.
Yeah, like it's hard to say because do you just say that about anyone who's ever had success, that they just the driving force is that they want it again, or you haven't had it and you want it? Like, like I suppose it is. That's all you can compare it to. And they like, I wasn't here during those successes, but they do bring up, like how good was that in Dublin, how good was that in Marseille, and things like that. But I probably haven't heard that this year to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's always every year, every week there's a different team. So it's hard to. It's not whether it's the driving force or just getting something done and achieving something together is always the big thing. It's always those moments. They're the best moments when you've worked hard for something and you get what you've worked so hard for, you know what I mean? So I'd like to taste a bit more success too. Like, I've only won one thing as a pro, you know what I mean? Like Super Rugby. I won an under-17s tournament or something when I was young. That was good. Yeah. But it's what everyone dreams of when you play. Like, you can make money and you can go play in different countries, but like being with a group of people and achieving something is always the goal.
Well, UJ was saying about how at the minute you're taking it week to week. You aren't getting ahead of yourselves. Is that still just in your eyes as well, the approach, and that's it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, and obviously, you probably say that more when you like if you were probably talking to someone from Toulouse, they've had success week in, week out. We know we can, but there's some just each week missing that we're not getting right, but we know we've got the people there. We know in spurts in different games we've played so good. Like we got smashed on the weekend in terms of points, but like there was some good signs. Like we worked hard. There's always positives. There's always so I suppose it's probably better for us to just look like 1 week at a time, and that's what we are doing. But yeah, I suppose that's a generic cliche too to rugby, 1 week at a time, But
yeah,
but that's what we need to do. That's all we can do.
Well, look, Kane, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I hope you've got a nice day planned, a nice week planned before the fixture at home. So, look, I'll let you enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. See you then.
You got someone else? Are you talking to someone else?
No, that's me. That's me sorted. I've got everyone I needed.
Okay, easy. All right.
Thank you very much.
You too, have a good day. I'll
see you then. Nice talking to you. How are things with you?
No, it's been good. It's been good. Been a good year this year, so haven't had any injuries, but some niggles here and there, but body feels good.
That's good to hear. So you're all ready for the weekend, all ready for the Champions Cup to come up?
Yeah, it's going to be my first one. So last year I spent most of the time on the sidelines. So it's exciting, especially when you're not injured and you're in a position to be playing. So it's good, exciting.
So you've mentioned obviously the injuries. Like, how does that impact you in terms of mentally of getting over them and kind of preparing yourself to kind of feel 100% going into a match, not to worry about the injury?
Yeah, last year was just I felt rushed because I came from like a 4-week holiday straight into got a text off my agent. I've got an opportunity here in France. We thought it's a good time to leave Australia and travel to Europe. But yeah, without any preseason, and I trying to come in, have 1 week of to play, and then 1 week of training, and then play straight away. So there was a high risk, which I thought my body was fine, and then had a back-to-back hamstring the whole of last year. Yeah, it's kind of mentally how do you say play with you a lot, but I think after I've had a good preseason this year, I felt confident with my body.
How has the life kind of exchange been going from Australia to France?
It's crazy at first because everyone speaks French here, so it's then you have to come in the morning and then start to learn like the new boys, their names, and when we're on the field, like everything is just French. So I lean towards the international boys for them to help me with the language that we use on the rugby field. But it's a lot better now. It's a lot better now. I get to understand what they're saying, so it's good.
And then how's life under Ronan? How's learning under him?
He's a hothead in the team meeting, but he's good. He's good. I'm lucky to have an English coach that speak both languages well. So same as the other coaches, they've been helpful. So he's been good.
Well, you've had quite a few high-profile coaches on your CV in terms of Rennie and Eddie Jones and all this. Like, what have you learnt from all those coaches and all those experiences of how they can extract the best from you?
Uh, I think they've just all told me the same thing. Just just play rugby. Don't worry. Just be you. There's a lot of information that goes into how they want to make you, how they want to play you. But at the end of the day, it's how you play. You've gotten yourself this far, so just be yourself and play.
And then you've obviously represented both Australia and Fiji in both codes of the sport. Like, how was it to represent those different nations? How did you feel?
It's crazy. The last, because I know rugby is massive in Fiji, so when we played Fiji in the World Cup was kind of emotional hearing the national anthem, but at the same time, it's cool that I've already played for Fiji in the league, but I'm representing because I have kids that are half Australian as well, so I'm representing them. And obviously, I call Australia my second home, so yeah, it's cool.
Well, that's incredible, to be honest. Like to be able to take those skills that you learned from the league over. Like, how have you managed to bring that into your game in terms of adapting to the union?
Just using my strength, like catching high balls. I think what I'm focusing now is just try and everything is contestable in rugby, so just staying alive.
Yeah.
Roaming around, because wingers in league, they just stay on one side. So now you're kind of like playing fullback, half wing. So it's cool to kick as well. So it's good.
And then obviously moving on to the competition itself, how are you feeling in terms of the opponents you're coming up against in the Champions Cup? Because obviously you got two English sides coming to France, but then you have to go to Ireland and South Africa. Like, there's a lot of differences in all that. Like, how do you feel for the approach that you will take to each different team?
I think the boys are just excited. I guess I think last year we did pretty well with how the boys played in the championship cup, and it's another new tournament. Somehow we have to start fresh again. So I think the boys are just trying to refresh and trying to go into this tournament from the start. We're all excited and we're looking forward to it.
And who would you say you'd be probably most excited to play against out of the teams you've drawn? Who would you be most excited to play against from the teams drawn?
I think this week's game, there's a couple of Wallabies boys playing for Leicester.
Yeah.
So I've got Parisi. I've known Kata. He came and spent some time with me in my league days. We used to play against each other. So, and James O'Connor too, I think.
Yeah.
So he's Leicester, is it?
I don't know if he's moved recently because he was obviously in New Zealand not too long ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's probably still there, but yeah, it'd be good to see some familiar face. But yeah, looking forward to especially the first Leicester game. So,
well, was that whenever you moved to La Rochelle? You're talking about the Aussie connection. Was Will Skelton and the likes of Kane Douglas, kind of influencing your decision of, look, what's it like there, and was that part of your decision making, or?
Yeah, especially Will, since he was our captain. He was messaging me while I was over in Australia. So, but I don't know Botia as well, that he plays in this club, but don't really know the rest of the boys until I got here, and then I'm like, oh, it's a lot of bit half Australian, half international, half French. So it's a good club to start off with.
And then, like, obviously, I was talking to Dylan, and Dylan mentioned the kind of impact of Will as well around the squad. Like, what do you see his impact of being within the squad? Like, how do you see him as being kind of keeps coming up as like a big name? Like, what makes him such a big name?
I think just how aggressive he is, how he and how he plays as well. If he plays good, he brings the whole pack with him. Everyone wants to match how he plays as well. So yeah, everyone's missing him on the field. So looking forward to the big fella coming back.
And like a last question, like it's obviously the Australian World Cup's coming up. Like, how are you feeling about the World Cup and maybe chances of playing in it and stuff like that? Like, would that be a target and aim?
I'm not sure at the moment. There's a lot of young boys coming in, so it's a far reach now, I guess. But but if there's anything though, I always put my hands up. So, but first of all, I just need to play more games here, so I can be in the position to get picked. So. Yeah.
And sorry, this will be my last question, and I'll let you go and enjoy your day. Apologies. But like, I haven't seen the atmosphere because obviously La Rochelle's a very small, in argument, stadium, and the fans are very passionate. Like, how have you experienced that? How has that felt? The experience of seeing their fans?
It's crazy. 1 week we'd lose badly.
Mm-hmm.
Come in the whole game expecting there won't be any fans, but it's a sellout every weekend in the home games. It's different to Australia or in Fiji. Yeah, they love the rugby and they cheer right from the start to the end. Something new that we don't normally get that in Australia. Usually they just sit down and just watch the game.
Okay, that's interesting to see that kind of difference. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know why there might be that difference, or like what would be the reason behind it?
I don't know. I like it. I like how they just cheer right from the start till the end. They're passionate about their team, and it helps the team as well. So being on the field, hearing your crowd fans yelling you out, cheering for the team. Even though you're losing, you can still find your way back to win the game.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll let you enjoy your day. And as I say, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And thank you very much for your time. And look, hopefully the injuries don't come back, and hopefully everything goes flying fit. And best of luck, lad.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Have a good one.